It's a really blustery day out, so you don't want to get caught out in it because there's so many showers blowing through so quick. I thought I'd stay in and bore you to death about my new camera instead. This is my first proper DSLR, the Nikon D3200. It came with the 18 to 55 kit lens and I absolutely loved it. And I managed to capture some really good photos with this lens. There's a couple of examples coming up in a second, so here you go, have a look at these. My next lens was the 55 to 200 just to get a bit more reach, and it got me some shots like these just coming up. I wanted a bit more low light performance, so I got the 35mm f1.8 GED just because I was becoming more interested in nighttime photography and was struggling with the other lenses, so this solved that problem. I was slowly beginning to go down the astro photography and light painting route, and that's when the Dslr Limitations became a problem for me. I had issues obviously focusing at night, using the not using the EVF, using the LCD display in live view, and that also then sucked more life out of the battery and drained that really quick, and it just became a bit of a problem. So I started to look around for alternatives. I'd always kind of had my eye on the Sony cameras, but in the meantime I'd been waiting for Nikon to release an APS-C sized mirrorless camera, but that was still a rumour or a long way off. So although I liked the ruggedness and the feel of the Nikon, I took the plunge and ended up going down the Sony route, and that's when the Sony A6000 came into my life. And to be fair, I absolutely love this camera. It was the answer to all my problems: focus peaking and bizarrely the ability to use older manual focus lenses with an infinity stop, and that was a real advantage for the type of photography I was now doing. It just took away all the problems that I had with a DSLR. The only problem with the Sony that I found really annoying was this command dial on the back. It's such a fiddly little thing. Not only does it do up, down, left and right, but it also rotates at the same time. So the amount of times that I went to adjust the ISO but ended up inadvertently changing or rotating the dial at the same time, and then you would just disappear off into a screen you've never seen before, and because you didn't know how you got there, you didn't know how to get back from it, and it was just a frustration. I think that dial must ruin every Sony camera. The only other issue I had with the camera was with the shutter button. Because the camera is not dust or weather resistant, dirt gets under the shutter button and that just causes the camera to freak out. It only needs to be a speck of dust and it causes a problem, and then you're in there with like a little brush and one of those air fluffer things. Time for the Nikon Z50 to come into my life. This is a camera I wanted and hoped to get instead of the Sony, but it wasn't available at the time, and I'm so glad I got it. I bought it body only and with the FTZ adapter. To be honest, the FTZ adapter is a bit of a waste of money. I should have put that money straight into native Z-mount lenses, because it feels like it just hampers, at least with the lenses I was trying to use it with. It didn't really unleash the full potential of the camera, so it was a frustration. Eventually I took the plunge and got the DX16 to 50 native Z mount lens, and that just seemed to unleash the full potential of the little camera. So pleased I bought this, and I can't wait to invest in more Z mount, either telephoto or prime lenses when funds allow. They're obviously quite pricey, but to be fair, I don't think they're any more pricey than anyone else's lenses, so that'd be something to get into. This lens, the kit lens, is really sharp. The next frustration was switching between the native Z kit and the F mount lenses, because of the adapter you use. Well, the FTZ adapter is thin, and the tripod mounts are thicker than the adapter, so they foul the camera body if you try to remove the adapter. And then if you put the tripod mount on to the camera because you want to use the native lens, you can't then put the FTZ adapter back on without taking the tripod mount off again. The Samyang 12mm f2 gets you shots like these that you're seeing at the moment, and I just couldn't bear not having this in my life, so I managed to find an adapter to take it from Sony E mount to Nikon Z mount, and it's that silver ring you can see here in the shot, and it's just a joy to use this lens, and I'm even more chuffed that I can adapt it to the Z mount system. I literally couldn't be without this lens. Overall, I am very happy to be back on the Nikon camera. As soon as you open the box and lift that little Z50 body out of the box, you can just feel it's sturdy. There's a quality to it that the Sony camera just doesn't give you. Plus it's dust and weather sealed, obviously not to the same level as a Z6 or 7, but you do have confidence in it. And plus now, what with the release of the new Nikon Z9, the golden afterglow that body gives to the rest of the Nikon Z range is something you can't deny. The trickle down effect is genuine, and I can't wait to see what the future brings.